back, having been sealed with 7 seals. And then the messenger, strong messenger, stands up and he says, who is worthy to eradicate this divorce, this letter of divorcement, and to loosen its seals? And then it goes on and it says, he was weeping. This is why John was weeping so, because it wasn't just to the point of us just to open it. Because why would it be so difficult to just open it? It wasn't just about opening it. It was about eradicating it. It was about making things right and being able to make annul the divorce decree that had been pronounced on the house of Israel. And so that's why John was weeping and crying so, because Israel had been divorced. So he's standing there, and then the messenger, one of the elders, says, don't weep, don't weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, overcame to eradicate the divorcement and loosen its seals. And so that's why all of the heavens broke out in a thunderous worship, because he could eradicate the divorce decree.
I am so excited about this, because we get to look back at this with the hindsight of 2020. And let me just borrow your imagination for a quick second. And this is all JB 101. A strong messenger, one of the 24 elders, can we say that possibly that could have been Kepha? Because he recognized him. And this is why he was telling Yochanan, don't cry. But that's not set in stone. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm guessing. So if I'm allowed to guess, just give me one. Just let me guess at that. That it could possibly be because with Yahshua, he had a very strong role.
Yes, he did.
And this identifies one as strong. And having been here in the earth and walking with him and teaching and believing in him, who's now sitting on the sides, the right and left hand side, would recognize the lamb because he was there and knew when the lamb was slain. He understood the whole system because they lived it. So that's just my hypothetical. Now, back to what the scripture says. It says that they all broke out with a shout. Well, the lamb, he had 7 horns, 7 eyes, the 7 spirits of Elohim. He was able to take the scroll from the hand of the one who was sitting on the throne. And the one who was sitting on the throne had a rainbow around him. And also that one that sit on the throne, which would be Yahweh, said something about Noah. So this is why we have to keep Noah in the picture. He said he was perfect in his generation. So we're going to look at something in just a few moments, looking at that, and I'm going to close out with Hebrews chapter 7. But first I want to scan through chapter 6 so we don't have to go back there. That's part 1. Chapter 4 and 5 of Revelation is part 1. And this is the now seeing after the crucifixion, we see the 4 creatures and the 24 elders. Now, it couldn't happen before the lamb showed up, or before the lamb was slain, I'm sorry. It couldn't happen before that. So in order for them to even take part in heaven, to be loosed from their chains of death, the lamb had to be slain. Because no man comes to the Father. He is what? The Dalet. He is the door. for his sake. He said, you shall find it again. Now we see them in the heavens. Now let's look at chapter 6 real quick, and I'll be a couple of minutes on this. And then we're going to go to Hebrews in chapter 7, where I'm going to close out, just to tie everything together. Because I want to show you what this and who this is in heaven. And I know that we know. Chapter 6 is now our second part, which we see the conquering king. Rabbi, can you read chapter verse 1, please?
Just one?
Yes, verse 1 will do.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures saying, like a sound of thunder, come and see.
All right, so what did he come to see? 4 horses. Verse 2, the white horse. Verse 3, the red horse. Verse 5, the black horse. Verse 8, the pale horse. What do these horses represent? Now, we have the conquering king who's riding the first horse, because it says, verse 2 says, and I looked and I saw a white horse, he who sat on it, holding a bow and a crown was given to him, and he went out overcoming and to overcome. So there's something about a conquering king here, because there's a crown, and he's also given a bow. What do you use a bow for? It's a weapon of war. Also a hunter. But don't forget that Yahshua, or the Lamb, has what? 7 different spirits, and we try to, just limit him to one. He can either be man or he can be God. But see, he comes in different forms or different spirits that we can see. So we have the conquering king on the white horse and the red horse. This one is a dragon. It's the dragon. We'll see him a little later on in this when the 3 woes, or the 3 last woes, where the eagle begins to say, woe, woe, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. This one is the one who receives the commands, and this is actually a spirit of Hasatan. Devil, evil, dragon, and something else. He's called by different names, and this is one of his spirits that will be invoked. The 3rd seal, which is the black seal, is, I see a bit of famine and some other stuff here as well. But yeah, it's got the scales here. Justice and injustice and righteousness and unrighteousness here. Unfair scales. Then the fourth seal, the fourth horse, the pale horse, is death and the grave. Verse 12 says, and I looked when he opened the 6th seal, I saw a great earthquake came to be, and the sun became black and sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth, and a fig tree dropped to unripened figs beyond being shaken by a strong wind. And also, this connects us back to Yahshua cursing the fig tree. Remember? So all these things are very significant for a greater understanding as we go through. And I'm not going to go through that right now because I need to leave this part right here. We see the 7 spirits spoke about in the book of Revelation about 7 different times. And it's trying to get a message over to us about the spirits of Yahshua. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 7, and I'm going to close out with that and try to be brief. so I may probably cut down on what I will present from this portion. Okay, chapter 7. Why is this very significant? Well, let me go ahead and read it. It'll probably come out a little faster. Rabbis, will you read through verse 3, please?
For this Melchizedek, sovereign of Shalom, priest of the Most High Elohim, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the sovereigns and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a 10th part of all, his name being translated indeed first sovereign of righteousness, and then also sovereign of Shalom, that is, sovereign of peace, without father, without mother, without genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but having been made like the Son of Elohim, remains a priest for all time.
So we have both here that are being introduced, Melchizedek, and we have Yahshua, the son, like the Son of Elohim. There's a relationship here that needs to be explained, because here we make the mistake of believing that Melchizedek has no beginning, no end. And what it's simply doing is tying something in for us here about another priesthood that had not been spoken of. And we'll look at that in just a second, but I just want to explain here that Abraham gives a tithe to Melchizedek, meaning that the lesser gives the tithe to the greater, whereas Abraham, we know that he was born in the year 1948, coming from creation. Him paying a tithe to Melchizedek is saying that this is my elder. He is my senior. Okay, let me leave it there for a moment. All right, now let me move on. Here it is, verse 4. It says, now see how great this one was, to whom even the ancestor Abraham gave a 10th of the choice booty, meaning that which he had extracted from his retaking Lot and all that was with him. Now, this word ancestor, what does that denote? In verse 4, ancestor Abraham.
Someone of his lineage.
That means it's someone of his lineage.
Right.
So Abraham, in order to be his ancestor, that means there's a family bloodline. So that helps us understand that it's not really talking about that he has no beginning and no end. But it is confused that way because of the way it's spoken. But this, because it comes behind something I'll explain in just a moment, the word change makes this look like Melchizedek has no beginning and no end. Well, to really look at this, going beyond Abraham, there's something that happened to the earth, and we all know it to be as the flood. 1656, the flood happened. And that's only just about, it's just under 300 years difference from the time that Abraham was born to the flood. Now, we know who was there during the flood was Noah and his 3 sons. Now, with